Welcome back. So how about we take you to Iowa?
We have a team of reporters covering Michigan State's road to the Final Four. Of course, that road nearly ended before it started, but we begin with Joey Ellis.
The Michigan State basketball team boarded a plane, flew 580 miles right here to Des Moines, Iowa to take on the Bradley Braves in the first round of the NCAA tournament. It was supposed to be easy. It wasn't quite as easy, but Michael Epps has been covering the Spartans all year and has more from the back and forth affair.
Michigan State has had quite an emotional few weeks, from losing players to injury to winning its conference and beating its rival. They came into this first round game against Bradley just flat. 2-on-1, here he comes, and down it goes! Bradley came into this game with all the energy.
You know, they had a lot of great fans, and yeah, it kind of did feel like some other fans were, and you know, that's the NCAA tournament for you.
Michigan State came off an emotional win over Michigan in the Big Ten tournament final and simply didn't play well early.
It was a completely different vibe out there because they were playing for their last. And man, they played like it was their last. So they played hard, they made shots, they defended, rebounded. So credit to them, man. It's sad it got to end like this, but I'm glad we're moving on.
But it was Big Ten Player of the Year Cassius Winston that came to the rescue yet again, making the big plays down the stretch that the other players weren't making.
He's just that guy who can take over and, you know, is not afraid to take over. You know, he's got that ability, and he helps us, and he sees it. Like whenever we're in a slump and we're not hitting shots, he just takes over. I'm going to score these next 2-3 possessions for us and bring the lead back up.
Next up, the Spartans will take on a familiar opponent, fellow Big Ten rival Minnesota.
We're in around the 32 now, so hopefully we get to 16.
And the only matchup between these two teams was a Michigan State win in East Lansing. That'll be a fun game to watch. But this has been a long road for the Spartans, and I mean literally. Griffin Stroin made the drive from mid-Michigan to the cornfields of Iowa and found a pit stop that feels like a mall.
This time of year, the Michigan State basketball team is always on the road. But fans like TJ George make these trips too. In this case, 540 miles.
It's pretty long, but honestly, it wasn't too bad.
And while fans are on their way to the country's largest basketball tournament, why wouldn't they stop at the world's largest truck stop?
World's largest truck stop here in Walcott, Iowa. Can't pass that up.
That's Daniel Kalajczak, a diehard Michigan fan from Warren. But he's not on the road to watch the game. He drives to earn his living.
I've been driving for about 3-4 months now, since about November this past year.
This Michigander has driven this route a lot.
Iowa is about, in that span, about, say, like the 6th or 7th time.
But this weekend, he'll probably be joined on the road with more people from Michigan. Now, obviously, this trip to Des Moines was a lot longer for Michiganders compared to last week's trip to Chicago. But that didn't stop Spartan fans.
Wouldn't miss that for the world.
So how can we not go?
For a while in the Spartans' first game, it looked like all of Michigan would be driving back home. But they finally won.
There's other great things to do. They can visit our science center, they can visit our historical building, they can see our beautiful Capitol in the back.
Now, fans will get to enjoy Iowa, at least for another day.
Just a ton of things to do.
In Des Moines, Iowa, I'm Griffin Stroyan, Focal Point News.
Looks like Griffin had an interesting road here to Iowa, and certainly all the roads to the tournament are paved with different characters, like a Billiken. Does anybody know what a Billiken is? The 64-team field also features 64 mascots.
The Spartans aren't the only mascot in Des Moines, Iowa this weekend. Just ask the thousands of fans who came through Thursday's Hoops and Hops Fan Fest.
So, I am from Kansas originally, grew up in Topeka, but I'm a transplant to Des Moines.
7 other schools are also in Des Moines for the first and second round of the NCAA tournament.
I've never been to Iowa, never been in Des Moines, so I'm pretty excited to be here.
Which gives this city a chance to showcase itself just a little bit.
We're known for a lot of our smaller media markets, and so having, you know, the tournament here for the second time, it's a big deal.
There are Cyclones here.
A cyclone in the Midwest. I mean, it dominates everything, right?
There are Gators.
The way we like to say it in Florida is that, you know, most mascots, you know, they're all built and stuff, but Albert's got that like dad kind of thing going on.
Does anybody even know what a Billiken is?
Oh yeah, St. Louis, the mystical creatures.
And there's even the fans still not quite sure of their rooting allegiances.
I usually side with Michigan. I got a buddy that I play high school with on Michigan, but my sister recently graduated from Michigan State.
But Fandom aside, the city of Des Moines serves as the centerpiece for one common interest.
It's just a great environment. I mean, it's that collegiate vibe away from home. You know, it's everybody's here for one reason, and to support their squad and just enjoying a friendly rivalry with different schools.
At least I'm not the only one who doesn't know what a Billiken is. But that's not just all the action happening here in Iowa. Honda Carter reports from back home in East Lansing that the school spirit was still alive and well.
Not everyone drives across the country to watch the Spartans play.
I got here about probably 12:30.
While some fans will drive or fly, some prefer their favorite chair at the bar.
Sit in the same spot, order the same stuff.
For Tim, this is the usual.
Lived here all my life. I grew up in these things. So.
But at the Hall of Fame Cafe, it's sort of a big deal.
I'm a Michigan State fan, first and foremost.
Joe said he's been a Spartan since birth.
And I just love the place. And sometimes I can't help myself because of that.
As you can see, it gets pretty busy here on game day in East Lansing. These Spartans are in the March Madness spirit, and they're taking over restaurants.
It can get a little stressful when it's busy and there's a wait, but it's fun to work here. It's always loud and there's lots of people.
It's where Spartan fans can share more than a beer.
It's got a good atmosphere.
Most importantly, it's where they can cheer on their favorite team.
I hope they'll go all the way.
I'm relieved at the win.
In East Lansing,
who am I to doubt these guys?
I'm Honda Carter, Focal Point News.
Next up for the Spartans is a second-round matchup against the Minnesota Golden Gophers. That's all for now. For Griffin Stroy and Michael Epps, I'm Joey Ellison, Des Moines, Iowa, Focal Point News.